into it. All of you are based in California, and I'm here in Washington, so we're all on the West Coast.
You can watch all 10 episodes and be done with it.
Yeah. Sorry, that's my donkey in the background. His name's Cash.
Hi.
Hi, Haley. How are you?
Good. What a lovely introduction. You're so nice.
How's it going, baby? How you living?
With our managers, with our tour staff, with all that team. It's always been like a family-like team.
I had to get out my old script and kind of look over it again and be like, what was I thinking? What was I doing?
I don't know. Let's see how this one goes.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
I know I'm not Mark, but I'm Sydney Sherwood. I am a singer-songwriter from New Jersey, and today I will be interviewing Mark, so we're flipping the roles here.
And I can't find the light. I've only worked here for like 5 years, and I can't find the light switches.
I'm fine, thank you. What an introduction.
Oh.
We have it's a run-in right now. Do you see who's coming down the ramp? Holy shit! I see.
We got a surprise Royal Rumble entry.
It's El Negro.
Hell yeah.
What's going on, Mark? How are you doing?
Good. How are you, Halcone?
Great.
That's awesome.
I heard we're gonna be talking about some wrestling.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you, Nikki?
I'm well. Yes.
That's awesome. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Holy moly.
Something's, or she looks really, really, really devastated. So we ran to her, and like tears were running down her cheek, and we said, stop, cut. And with an instant, she switched and smiled at us. Was it okay? We were like, oh my God.
But to be fair, I wasn't emotionally there because I just found out I was pregnant and I hadn't told Jake yet when we recorded that song.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So and then I'm singing and I'm going, I'm not all by myself anymore.
Oh, whoa.
I know.
Yay, welcome to the studio. Yay, this is
Oh, no. Wow. I'm impressed. Yeah.
Watching and cursing, prepare, returning. When your world's a broken place, shadows come like a soft embrace. Often lifetimes in their grace to those who sell their soul. And then time of stone, not perfect or pristine.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts Media, based here in Seattle, Washington. And thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday, the 10th of August, 2025. And I want to thank Kat Jade and Jake Millick for joining me on Thursday this past week. Such wonderful guests. And so I'm just uberly talented and so they don't have any kind of like ego about them whatsoever. And so me being a big fan of the Highland Street Country Club and working out the time zone differences of 16 and a half hours in Australia versus Seattle, it's just wonderful getting a chance to talk with them. So I'm looking forward to the day when they come back here to Seattle. Sounds like it would be next year. And speaking of which, coming up, the next live streams that I have scheduled for sure is the first one's actually tomorrow on Monday, the 11th at 4 p.m. Pacific. I have Michael Baltier scheduled to join me, and Michael is from Pacific Northwest Music Photo. And he also has a really interesting personal journey that started during the pandemic, which has continued to this day, involving cycling and a whole just lifestyle change and mental health. He's got some videos on his channel that are really interesting about that. So we're going to talk about, talking about concert photography and all of that stuff that goes along with it. We've shared many photo pits over the years. So that's going to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific. And then this is new as of yesterday. This got confirmed. Peter Savad on Wednesday is joining me, which is the 13th. And this is at 5 p.m. Pacific. For all you Hindley Street Country Club members, fan people, Peter is the mixer of the music. And so we're going to find out like how extensive that actually gets. Is he producing things? What is he doing with all the wonderful sound that those guys record live and put into their videos that go onto their YouTube channel that has over 1 million subscribers? So Peter's going to be joining me on Wednesday, and I know I have one scheduled for the following week. I can't announce it yet because it's actually in my court right now. I need to make sure I have time during that particular week with day job responsibilities and anything else that might be coming. So, and then somebody on my backdrop here is also working on one, and we're trying to do something a little special for that live stream of her coming back. So that hopefully that'll be this month. If not, it'll push into September. Always a wonderful guest, and I don't have. It's kind of weird. I don't have a lot of female guests on my backdrop, which is really strange because I've interviewed a ton of female guests over the years. If this is your first time joining me on my YouTube channel, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you're on the Twitch side of things, please follow me over there. I will follow you back. And anytime I have something that's ready to go, it's confirmed, or just something I'm out and about doing, I always post all that information first on my Instagram account, which is Eclectic Arts Media, one word. And if you're really feeling generous and want to help me celebrate my 400th live stream today, there's a PayPal me and a Venmo link in every live YouTube description that I do. And speaking of which, yeah, today is live stream number 400. I never thought I would be here. I started back on May 22nd, 2020 with the wonderful band Alice out of Los Angeles. And even back then, I didn't think I was going to be doing this live stream thing because one, I'm not really tech oriented. And two, it was the furthest thing from my mind. So the fact that from doing the tour with them and then continuing to do things on my own, all the way to here we are in August of 2025 is crazy to me. But I'm so thankful for every guest that's come by. I had a chance to look through my YouTube channel to make that video montage, and it's nothing personal. If you weren't a part of it, it's just impossible to try to pull clips to make like a 2.5-minute video montage of from 399 live streams that I've done. Those just kind of popped out for whatever reason when I was going through them. Some of them were purposeful in terms of like the very first live stream I ever did with Alice was at the front of it, and then the first live stream I ever did on my own was at the end of it. And everything in between is just kind of all over the place. But I really thought once the pandemic was kind of ending and things were opening up and I went back to covering things in person, that this world was probably going to be the one that suffered the most. And I love doing these live stream interviews. I really do. But between all the commitments and in person, and then I'm still involved with lots of film reviews, and I have a film festival that's going on literally right now that I'm a part of. And personal commitments and day job commitments and everything else, it's just hard to kind of find the balance. But I'm really glad to be back here in this world for the last, 2 weeks or so. And doesn't really show any signs of stopping. So thank you so much for the support and for being here. And let's get to this 400th live stream with this. It just got timed out perfectly of who this guest is. My guest today has a long-running history with Eclectic Arts Media. We first met on August 4th, 2020 on the Alice Inside Out virtual tour. She then was one of 2 guests on my first ever solo live stream for the Fun Table Sessions number 3. She has since been a great guest many times over the years. She is currently a member of both 2D Cat and Alice, as well as her own solo project. It is my great pleasure to welcome back to the Eclectic Arts Media virtual studio, Haezl.
Yay! Thank you so much, Mark. I feel like we should have had like party sounds, like 400th stream, like a squeaky chicken or something. I
How the heck are you?
I'm doing so good, Mark. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be part of your 400th stream. And yeah, we've done a lot of streams. I missed the round tables for sure. Yeah.
I do, and I do too. I haven't done any this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still time. The year's not over yet, but
not even almost half over, a little half. Half a year to go.
And quite honestly, some of my best memories, when I just think of it off the top of my head with those Fun Table Sessions, you were a part of them. That's what I remember.
We had so much fun. It was just, it was always such a blast, and just hilarious. So
yeah, I think about the one with Britta and Megan, and with Spanky and her duck.
Oh my gosh, there were so many good ones. Christina Wu, right? And we did a lot.
We did, yeah.
It was great.
if I actually take the time to maybe like do analytics about like which guest has been on the most live streams, I bet you've got to be like top 3. You've got to be
Yeah.
in there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And like I've told you in the past, I can tell you now, and anyone that's watching this right now, that you have always been such a great guest. Your personality and everything else. You have such a background that's so wide and so vast that you can fit and talk with pretty much anybody.
Awesome.
And that's not always the case with some people. Maybe they're a little more reserved, or they're a little bit more private, or whatever their thing is. And that's what I work with. But in your case, it's like I could put pretty much anybody with you, and I'm not concerned about you disappearing into the background or having an issue with the other guests that I picked.
Right.
You roll with the punches, and you always have your personality always shines really, really great. So yeah, it's great that we're here just over 2 years later.
Crazy. It's crazy. Well, I will have to say your guests are always amazing, and you cover so much ground of just artists and professionals and, people who have interesting lives and yeah, so it's easy to get along with them in my opinion.
Well, that's great, and that's why it all works, I guess, when I pick the right people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Always eclectic arts, that's the point, right?
That is the point. I mean, even the fact that I had a wrestler on last year was just like, okay, this is cool. I have a love of wrestling, and met this guy locally, and he's going to be performing actually in about 2 weeks here locally. So, yeah, and it's has a military background of like 20 years, I want to say.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, long time. So yeah, it's really cool to do all this kind of stuff. But let's talk about Haezl first.
Okay.
And it's interesting. I was actually, and you can tell me what this was. When we first did that interview 5 years ago on the Inside Out virtual tour with Alice, you were promoting a single and a video, and I can't remember the name of, because your name changed, your professional name changed, and it had something to do with Zilla. That's all I remember.
It was bad. It was so bad. I don't even know if I want to say it out loud, because then I know people are going to go look it up.
Well, and you can think about it. I guess my point was that what you started with then 5 years ago and what you're doing now, to me, has really just kind of grown and maybe morphed and changed into something that's I don't want to say it's completely different, but it's definitely it's gone on different paths.
Yeah.
And was that intentional?
No. Yes. Well, no. It was intentional to change. I didn't really set out thinking I was gonna do multiple projects, have different vibes. I really didn't. I think I'm very open-minded. So I was okay with, actually, I wasn't super okay with changing my main brand. Like I wish I had come up with something that just hit the mark right away. Mark, but it didn't hit quite right, and the name was silly, and then I was doing a folk electronic thing. I really wanted to mix in, playing guitar, which I do, and do this like folksy electronic thing, but I wasn't really just like hitting it. So I started realizing just like full electronic production was what I really wanted to do and what I started doing. So the folk name kind of went away. And then I did put that single though, Indigo, on my first album. So you can hear me playing guitar, and that kind of genre that I was trying to accomplish at first is still available as Indigo on the God You Feed album, but then the rest is electronic. Actually, I take that back. Orbiter has some guitar playing too, but yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of it sounds actually as more of a almost like a natural process of doing and recording and writing, and kind of I'm kind of feeling like I'm going to go this direction based on that whole process there. So it wasn't like you didn't abandon anything. It just kind of grew into it.
Yeah, it morphed for sure. And I'm one of those people that just jumps into things. And I also think that I can't like review stuff properly unless it's out there. So, I didn't sit back and just wait for things to be perfect before I started releasing stuff, created a name and a brand. And, I just did it. And so naturally, that if you just go out, balls to the wall and do that, sometimes that's got to change, because maybe you didn't, it's going to morph, it's going to evolve. So that is what happened. And thankfully, Hazel's sticking. I haven't had any ADHD to try to change it, although I have thought about it. I'm like, oh, do I really like it? But I like it and it sticks and I think it fits and yeah, so it stays.
Cool. Well, and I can say too from the outside, or like from the media side, that the spelling of Hazel is what's really kind of helping sell it. Because if you had kept it like a hazelnut or something,
Hmm.
you'd have a bunch of pictures and links of nuts that would show up if you're trying to search.
That's the funniest thing. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure that, it probably is unless you like hit the little thing under Google that says, did you mean Haezl? Although I am up on Google now. So like if you search Haezl, most of my stuff pops up. So, but
Yep.
yeah, and that's an important thing. You have to have a unique signature because the internet is vast. And there's a few Haezls out there. There's like a gamer that's got some Twitch, and then there's another like girl that's like a influencer. She's Hazel Gulfo or something like that. So the name is out there, but yeah, I'm glad it's unique enough that people can find my stuff without being lost in the sauce.
Yeah, and clearly you've been active a lot, so then that means you're coming up as the hit first, even if there are other people that share the name. And that's one of the reasons, like, I don't even know when I did that. It was like a year, no, it must be over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, that I added the media to me. So it's Eclectic Arts Media. And what a change it made for people finding me. Because you put eclectic arts, that can mean a bunch of different things, like just arts, period, something that's wide variety. But then when I added the media thing, it honed in strictly onto pictures of me or videos or live streams that I did. And yeah, it made a huge difference. So I know exactly about the branding aspect of like, you got to try to find that, unique thing that works for you, and hope. And it's hard, as we found out a few years ago, trying to figure out names together and things like,
Oh, I asked you. That's right. I
Yeah.
did. I trusted you. I was like, you have seen enough artists. You have like interacted with them and you kind of know like, and I was like, help me come up with a name.
Yeah.
And we went through a few. Yeah.
That's when I learned that, like, I'm coming up with something that I thought I like made up in my head, and somebody's already got it.
It's tough, man. Yeah. It's so tough.
So
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So tough.
But
It's really
so with
saturated.
with your name of Hazel, where are we here in 2025? Music singles lined up. What's going on here currently?
2025, we're a bit older, a bit more mature and tired. No. Actually, I feel I've generally been pretty energized for projects. I have another album I'm working on. And I actually just finished up a single. The next single, I released Dead Eye, which is the first single off the next album, which is The Electric Universe. It's a concept album with just a story about it's going to be about like a world recreated like I don't know if you've heard the electric universe theory, that everything is like created by electricity and the whole like universe is like basically fundamentally electricity. So it's really kind of about that. So we've got like technomancers, and that's going to tie into technology and how the earth at its core is actually just like a supercomputer that's putting out all this electricity that like runs the world. And this is going to be about how that computer's dying and how the world has to be reimagined. And some people are going to be saved and some people aren't. So kind of getting a little biblical rapture stuff, but in a tech world based on the electric universe. So that's going to be like the concept album. And so Deadeye is like the prophets that get reincarnated, trying to like, warn the world that this is happening. And then, so I have another song coming out called The Other Side. And I have my first collaboration on my solo project with a rapper named Mark Sugiyama. And we just did a photo. He sounds amazing. He did a whole rap on the song. And we did a photo shoot yesterday, and then we got some video, and he's great. I didn't meet him in person until yesterday too. So that was really cool when you collaborate like just virtually and then get to meet. And so really excited, going to release that in about a month, and then just put together the rest of the album, hopefully make some vinyl, and yeah, it's going to be fun. Got some ideas for it, and I really 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 want to start playing live, so I'm putting together a live set, and doing solo live has been tricky. It was a little overwhelming, but I think I have the setup. So I'm working on it.
Well, that's really exciting. You have so many things going, especially the when you're explaining the concept behind the concept album that's coming out. It seems like that could be spun off into so many ideas, like with music videos and merch and everything else, just to really enhance your brand that much further by having this concept.
Yeah.
And because I mean, with the interviews I've been doing, I actually I can't think of the last time someone talked about, well, Mark, I have a concept album coming out.
Yeah, it's hard to really make a true concept album, like to draw the line through everything strong enough that it is a story. So I'm gonna do some like talking in between that's gonna be like a musical almost, but it's gonna be short. I'm not gonna do like maybe 8 or 9 songs. That way I can really focus on the quality of the music and the quality of the story. Um, yeah. And I have another single coming out that is separate from that, but it's a little more poppy and it doesn't really fit in the concept album. So I decided I'm going to release that separate. And that'll be my 3rd single of the year.
Wow. And if I remember correctly, with some of your earlier material, you had either a hand or maybe you actually did it yourself, like the music videos. I think you were directing them, if I remember right.
Shoot and direct all my music videos. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's tricky to do it yourself, but when you have limited time, you're just like, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go into the woods, I'm gonna film myself. And we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna throw it together in some video editing software and we're gonna make it weird and it's gonna be fine.
Well, I think what's awesome is that you take the approach of like, I'm gonna take care of this. Like you said, I have limited time, so I'm gonna get out there, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make it happen, instead of like, well, I don't know what to do, so I can't find the right person, the right videographer or whatever. And then next thing you know, a year passes and nothing gets out there. Because there's a lot of people, that's what, I don't want to say it's an excuse, but that's what they kind of push it into. Like, oh yeah, I have this idea in my head, but I don't know how to make it happen, so I need to find somebody. And then they don't find somebody. Yeah. And then everything becomes, like, well, that was yesterday's news now. But you've never been like that. It's always like, what can I do? Photo shoot wise, video wise, everything. Let's just make it happen.
Yeah. And I think that, there's 2 sides to that. Just like the Miss Bookzilla thing is like, if you're going to jump into things and do it, that's great. And, it might not always, I think some people get into analysis paralysis. And that certainly solves it if you just jump in and you say, I'm going to do it. I got to put it out there. Otherwise, I'm not going to learn. Otherwise, it's not going to get out there. And honestly, I don't care. I don't care if it's not perfect. Like, I don't care if sometimes I get a little cringy looking back at stuff, but I'm like, I did that and that's what got me here. So, if I occasionally want to take something down, I really fight the urge to just be like, that's part of the history and someone's going to appreciate where I came from and that I started there and where it is now. And someone might even like the old stuff better. I might be like, oh, I really like that song. You should do more of that. So you never know.
I can totally relate to that. I mean, I've said this many times on various live streams that first interview that I did on the Alice tour in 2020 with their dancing friends, I can't stand that interview. I can't stand anything about it. The fact that I put a clip of it on this 400th live stream video montage, I had to suck it up and say, maybe I'll take the next one, or I'll take one from later in 2020.
But you had to put it because it was your first one.
It is the first one, so I can't stand that interview. And I won't go into all the details of why I can't stand it, but I can relate. I mean, from that to where I'm at now, it's to me, it's like night and day, and that's the way it should be. It's like I got better.
Right. Yes, and that's what we should do. And you can't get somewhere without starting somewhere. So.
Yep. Absolutely. I always say, everyone starts somewhere, and then it's where you go with it is really more of what's kind of the proof, really. If I still was doing interviews like I did 5 years ago, then I'd be like, Okay, maybe you should not do this.
That's so funny. So, I mean, are you interested in sharing anything that you feel like you've learned? Maybe not saying like what you don't want to do, but like what you've changed that you really like.
Oh, that's interesting. I think part of it for me was that I needed to give myself some grace.
Yeah.
I'm so tough on myself, and like every artist is, we're our own worst critics. And I just would not let it go. Sometimes I want this, and I wouldn't hit it, even though everyone else went, Mark, that was a great interview. That was so great. I didn't know who these people were, and I went to go research their, who they are and all that kind of thing. And I'd be like, oh, that's really great. Nice of you to say. But internally, I'm like, that thing sucked.
Yeah. Hard
And
on
I,
yourself.
yeah, I had to kind of find the middle ground, but also to kind of make things better was one, just understanding like how this medium works and looking at other people's stuff and looking at YouTube tutorials and things of that nature. And kind of understanding that, some people like having like virtual backgrounds. Some people don't, like neither of us do. We have stuff that you can see. I prefer that because I can keep changing it up and kind of making it different. But back on the Alice tour 5 years ago, I thought, I understand what I was doing, but there is some of them where you literally see my head, and then you see like stuff on the backdrop because I was trying to frame it, but that's all you see. So you don't see any of this. There's no body.
The cropping. Oh, the cropping. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I understand what I was doing, before I would check in with Scott and he'd make sure that I was ready to go. But then I look back at it now, I'm like, oh my God, that's so terrible.
The cringe.
It is. But I think another real quick thing for me that I tried to improve upon was really, I don't ever feel like I've, like, for instance, granted, we have a history and we've done a lot of interviews, but like I still do my notes. Here's what I read of you.
That's amazing.
But if you go down here,
that.
I have 0 questions written for you. Some of that
we're just chatting, right?
Yeah, nobody's watching or anything. It's like
That's hilarious.
But some of it really came down to, it used to be a bit of a challenge for me because I felt like I was getting so comfortable after, like, especially the first year of doing these, that I'm like, I need to, make it a little harder on myself. So I would take questions away. Then it's like, can you still do this interview and remember these things in your head, and also listen to your guest and make it flow the way it's supposed to flow, so it doesn't sound like I'm just sitting there reading crap off my paper here.
Wow.
And then I got to a point where pretty much every interview I do now, so here's a little inside secret for anybody in the last probably few years, I don't write any questions down now at all.
Wow, you accomplished your mission of having that free flow and that memory. That's awesome, because I wonder if like some of those late night show folks have notes, or if they're so practiced because they do it so often, they probably just fly off the cuff,
Yeah, I bet you there's a bit of both. Like and like for me, like if there's a release date, I'm going to write that down because I won't remember that.
Gotcha.
But if it's something more in general, or there's a tour coming up or something, I can talk about that for sure. And has it bit me in the ass a few times? Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, I just totally forgot everything.
Yep. So I just researched this last night. How come I forgot this? But overall, I feel better about things. And it's still the fact I always go back to, just like when I was working with models doing photo shoots, that no one in their right mind as a guest on a live stream with me would ever come back if they didn't enjoy it, if they thought there was something, just a real wonky kind of interview, or that I was rude to them or disrespectful or anything like that. So it's just kind of building off of that foundation that happened 5 years ago and trying to make it more professional, I guess, for me in terms of what I want to see in here. And then, when guests come back or ones that finally say yes, or it'd be an honor to be a part of your project or your show or whatever, it just means I'm going in the right direction. That's the direction I want to be going in. Instead of someone saying, there's no fucking way I'm ever coming back to do anything with you.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Yeah.
That would be awful.
That would be awful. Yeah. No, I love it. That's why I always come back, because we always have such a good talk and so many interesting conversations and people. And now there's that history. So it's easy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so, again, it's just such a weird thing that's been, 5 years. And I still remember, God, that just came back into my head. the first time I was interviewing you on it was like the second leg of the Alice tour back then in 2020, you had joined early. Something got mixed up with like the start time. And so you're already there. And then when we reconnected, like, I don't know, 45 minutes later, you said, "Oh, I just stayed here." Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hilarious. I mean, I show up to work like an hour early too. Like I'm usually early more than I'm late. Although I'm trying to like make that better because I'm trying to be like, I could just relax a little.
You see, that's something that's something we share. I don't show up an hour early to work, but I don't like being late to pretty much anything except for maybe a party. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard for me to be late to parties. I'm like, I need to be 10 minutes early, right? I'm so trained.
The people in my circle here know, and it probably annoys some of them, that I would much rather have somebody be early than be late. Across the board, doesn't matter what I'm doing, for fun, professional, whatever. And clearly the people that like go to some of these events with me in person as a +1, I've honed it down to a select group of people because I already know they're either going to be on time or they're going to be early. If they happen to be running late because of traffic or something, they're going to text me immediately that, "Hey, Mark, I'm 5 minutes out. I'll be there," whatever. And then there's a couple other people that I know they're always late. I mean, they just are, and it bugs the crap out of me. So
yeah, some people don't. And more power to them if it doesn't bother them. It freaks me out.
yeah, and I just find it, and granted, so like I was just at something opening night on Friday at the Fifth Avenue Theater here, and so that's work for me. I have to write my review today about that show. And so I always let people know. And my +1 who went Friday, she's great. She's been to a bunch of things with me. I used to work with her. But some other people, if it's the first time, I have to kind of preface and say, you just get to come. You don't have to pay the $200 for the ticket. You just get to come and enjoy the show. But here's what I ask of you is I need you to take it seriously in terms of your commitment to being there.
Yeah.
I understand emergencies happen, but your communication with me is going to be key to make sure that maybe I invite you again.
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah. And you're like, this is a professional thing for me. And I would like you to consider that.
Yeah.
When you show up on time and take it seriously.
I have to be that that blunt with some people about I don't have to ask for this +1, or there was somebody else that asked me, but they've already been to 3 things, so that's why I asked you. And so there are consequences to this, and I worked my butt off to get to this point, so I'm not going to let you ruin it. Basically,
It's not fair to other people. You're like someone else that might have actually really wanted to come could have come,
Yeah. So I understand. I'm human too. Things do happen, but yeah, you got to communicate that with me. And I have one friend who's awesome. She could be like maybe feeling sick 3 days in front of the event, and she'll just text me, "Mark, I didn't make it to work today. I think I'm going to be good on Friday, but just in case I'm not, I'm just kind of letting you know ahead of time." Yeah. I love that kind of, because that means you're thinking about the situation.
Yeah.
And not just kind of thinking about yourself.
Right. And waiting to the last minute because you feel bad about it or you think it's gonna be fine. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'd rather
Yeah.
just be honest and like here it is. Yeah.
It's one of those things that I'm sure we also have in common is that I don't think I'll ever get used to like a younger generation thing where people just ghost you.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. I think we've talked about that before too. Like, I don't know if I've ever really been ghosted. I don't know. Have I been ghosted?
It's so weird to me. Like if I'm trying to set up something and then there's communication there and we're going back and forth, and then all of a sudden they just disappear.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. Actually, I have been ghosted. I just realized it. Oh, I'm not going to tell on this person, but damn, guy had me sing a whole song, record a whole song for him and ghosted me. I sent him all the tracks and he ghosted me. As soon as I sent him the contract, asking for money, asking for my pay.
Yeah, see.
I did get ghosted. I think it was a younger person too. Yeah.
There's an unfortunate perfect example of like, you know what? If it turns out you don't have the money or whatever, at least
Just tell me.
just be upfront about
Yeah.
it, and we can maybe try to work something out, or at least we'll part and not hate each other or whatever it is.
Yeah, and if you don't
Um,
like it, then let me know so I can have them back and use them for something else because I like it. And also you should pay people for their time, even if I mean, you obviously did the research, you thought, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
yeah, it should be again, should be almost like
Mhm.
an upfront no-brainer that if you're reaching out to somebody about utilizing their talents for your project, that they're compensated in some way.
Yeah, for the time you
And
spend, yeah,
yeah, because they don't have to be doing this. They could be doing somebody else's project that's going to pay them their rate or whatever it is. So I mean, we could talk about this for hours, but I was just like,
Thankfully, that hasn't been a super common experience for me, but yeah.
yes,
I was a little bit like, "Wow." Okay.
so this is what Mark was talking about.
Yeah. We're the ghosted team. Ghost isn't there a song? Ghosted. I don't know.
Well, if there isn't, you can make one.
No, there is now. It's in my head. Great. I don't need another lame song.
Oh man. But having said all of that, I get that. I mean, that's, the negative things or whatever you want to call them are down here. I get so many more positive things and experiences and exchanges and communications and people that I know now up here. So I don't want to sound like everything sucks, because it doesn't. But there is some annoyance that comes with any of these kind of artistic jobs or media jobs that, unfortunately, you try to figure out ways to reduce that. At least I know I do. I want that
Yeah.
down to 0 if I can get it there, but I don't think it's realistic. But I get as close to it as I can.
Yeah.
That's better than 30% or whatever.
Right? I think my phrase for the past couple weeks has been people are gonna people. People are gonna people. And it
Every-
is not my business how they want to people themselves. It is not my business. My business is how
Yeah.
I react and how I handle my own peopling. But yeah, people are gonna people.
That's really good. I've always said to people too that, especially like it's come up every now and then about some of the type of people I've interviewed. Maybe some people kind of take issue with the line of work that somebody's in. I said that's fine. If that's how you don't like that I talk to certain types of people, that's okay. You don't have to do the interview with me or whatever. But so I don't really care what you do as long as you're not hurting yourself and not doing illegal things.
Yeah.
Whatever is your deal, whatever floats your boat, then more power to you.
Yeah. And it's
if-
so interesting just that, the amount of just scope of life that you like to interview and talk to. And I think it's incredible. And I get that though. I mean, some people are, brought up certain ways and don't have the same beautiful mindset. Unfortunately.
Well, yeah, well, thank you. And that's what happens, and it's even happened locally. I'm not going to name the institution, but I know the communication director really well. I consider him a friend at this point, and he was just being honest, saying that, Mark, I can't have one of our talent interview with you because of this. And then for me personally, Mark, I have 0 issue with it. But from a company standpoint, I said, no, I understand that. I'm glad you brought this up now, instead of maybe I did all the work and actually came and did the interview in person with your talent. And then you tell me, oh, you can't upload that. I would have been like, what?
You've been like, that could have been said earlier. Well, that is good. That's good. He communicated it. And yeah, that's interesting. But it also says your platform, you're using it for a very specific purpose, which is to, bring people together, to unite people, to share, life that's bigger than an institution. You know what I mean? So I think that the higher road there was good. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, because I always look at it that every aspect of my life when it comes to professional things outside of Eclectic Arts Media, I have to answer to somebody. There's always a manager, there's always a director, there's always a boss, a CEO, whatever. I'm the boss here.
You're like, this is my kingdom and I get to do what I want. And if you don't want it, that's fine.
Yep. Absolutely.
I love that.
I've turned down a handful of media approvals for concerts to shoot them because they came in the day of. And I've always tell people I will not do anything if it's less than 24 hours when I get the approval, I'm not doing it. I don't care if it's something I would love to shoot them. I've been a fan forever. It's the biggest show, in Seattle. Out of principle, I won't do it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm the boss, so I can make those decisions.
Feels
Because,
great.
yeah, if there was somebody above me, they would say, "Get your ass down to Seattle and go shoot that show." You're
Yeah.
not going to say no to these people. And I say, I understand there's consequences to those kind of actions, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I'm still here, I guess, 5 years later doing this. Because
I love it. Yeah.
I still love it. I'm still passionate about it, and I get to call the shots. So
Yeah, I feel that. It's really nice. And being a session vocalist too, and someone that does, collaborate with other bands, and oftentimes like I come back to my own project, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can really just do what I want with this." Like, what if I want to, what if I do want to go do some folk stuff? What if I want to, it's so nice to know that like you have this project that is yours and your outlet. And it doesn't even have to, be anything big. It's just that space that you hold for yourself, that where you can witness your own creativity um without any guidelines. It's great.
absolutely, that amount of freedom that you have for yourself as Haezl, it's really precious. That you don't have to consider or compromise anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want. I have this idea in my head. I'm trying to get it out, and I don't have to listen to any of this. It's all
exactly. Not to say that I don't love collaborating with people, but it is nice to have that space too. You absolutely have to have your king of the castle space.
Yeah. And speaking of which, this is probably a good segue to the collaboration part of things. Last time that I had you virtually was actually with your bandmate in 2D Cat. And I know you've been playing live shows, which is awesome. And seems like that collaboration is really working well.
Yeah. We're a great team. We did our little first mini tour, and it was super fun. And we do very well online. We have lots of listeners, and we're trying to grow that live base. And it actually has been working out great. This year was the first year we just started getting like asked to come out and do stuff. And we've been working together like two years. So we have our first vinyl full album that just came out. This Is Not For You is what it's called. And it's awesome. It's awesome. Like, talk about collabs you love. I love it. It's so good. I need to get a vinyl player so I can play it. It's a vinyl player, record player. What do you call it? So I need to get one so I can play it and actually hear what the vinyl sounds like. That will just really trip me out. I love it. Super excited for that. It's great that he's now on the East Coast, so that makes it a lot easier for us. It's totally possible to collab with people all over. It does help that we can see each other more regularly and whatnot. So we're excited about that, and doing local shows really easily go out there and do some local shows. So hoping to continue doing that. Working on our next album, which I'm a little behind on recording some stuff. I'm sorry, Johan. I promise I'll get there. I feel like when you complete a project, sometimes I just need that recovery time. Otherwise, I start to see the same thematic material pop up, and then I'm like, this is that, like it needs to have like some fresh life behind it. But yeah, we might do a cover song next to help with that. So that's going great. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I remember seeing the pictures of the vinyl. I say
It's
that's
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand. Like, if I was ever to get back into music and I could actually hold my own record in my hands, I would be flashing back to, growing up with vinyl and cassettes and everything else. And just everything about that medium is so cool. So it's going to be, it's great that it became a reality. And once you get that record player, then you can plop that thing on and, turn off the lights and just kind of zone out into the world of vinyl. And it's also cool too that it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that when you're working with Johan and 2D Cat, that are you doing the vocals and melodies and the lyrics then? It's kind of all left to you?
We're a full 50-50 split. Yeah. Everything's full 50-50. Yeah. So it's great. He writes the tracks and then sends them to me, and then I do the vocals and melodies and harmonies and lyrics and concept of the songs. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So we've got Hazel here, and we've got 2D Cat here, and then of course I'm not going to forget about talking about Alice over here.
Yeah. The
They're
big
in
one.
yeah, they're in the midst of their Kickstarter campaign right now, and getting ready to head out on the road in the fall here, really shortly. And it sounds like there's just a bunch of stuff in the hopper that's going to be pushing this album. 'Cause
Yeah.
they were talking about it back 5 years ago when I was doing the virtual tour with them about As Above, So Below, and we're going to have the first half and the second half, and so it's a long time coming to have the whole thing together.
Yeah.
How
The
do you?
beautiful, beautiful artwork that just came out for the second part of the just like gorgeous, and loving the last songs that we did together. Say My Name is one that's coming out. It is, and I think they have some great plans for the music video. But absolutely adored working on that song with them. Yeah, and doing really great with the Kickstarter. So hopefully that'll be fully funded. And the tour this fall is going to be great. 2 weeks. I'll be there for 2 weeks, 13 days. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. It's always a blast. Yeah. Love rocking out with them.
Has it been kind of? I mean, you've been a friend of the band before you joined the band, anyway. But once you were actually playing live shows with them over the past few years, has it been kind of ever at any time a little trippy to be kind of looking over and there's Tosh and there's
100%. The whole first spring tour, I was like, what is happening? What is happening? I loved it. I loved it. It was really, really cool. And I've definitely just been really pleased with being a part of that project, and really grateful that I've had the chance to work with them in these capacities, and really looking forward to finishing up this album with them. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I believe it's what in the fall is usually when they do the Norlands thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Get to hang out with all our friends and stuff. So that'll be great. That'll be so fun. It's
Wow.
a great escape. So yeah.
Yeah, and like we've been kind of talking about in terms of your involvement, you have a little bit of everything. So depending on if it's Hazel, depending if it's 2D Cat, depending if it's Alice, and everything else you got going outside of those three things, you have a little bit of the best of every world that you can pull
For
from.
sure. Yeah, it's like everything I do, it just almost like it's filled a different space for me. Um, obviously working like solo is like we were saying, like having the space to be creatively independent is amazing. And then having I say the bigger collab with a bigger group of people, it has its joys in that too, of like, wow, like the different layers of complexity that come into that, and just what you can really do in a group like that. And then working in a duo too, and seeing how much you influence each other, and how much you grow together. That, I mean, there's that is a very strong, can be a really strong influence on each other that way too. So it's fascinating, and I love looking at that and seeing those different tiers in my life. Like, it's just incredible. I've been so blessed. Like, I've been so blessed these past couple years. Like, just the next thing I need to do is a solo show. Like, I really just have to get out there and do some solo shows. That's really got to be next for me. So we'll see. I got a little synthy here. I'll show you. It's my little mini Korg.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, that'll be with me. He's little, so I got to learn my parts. Yeah.
With your bringing your Hazel music to the stage, knowing you, I'm guessing that you also have like ideas in your head of like how you want to present it, not just the music, but just like visually what's people are going to be seeing or taking in.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna use a projector, I think, to start with. I don't want to lug around lights. I really want things to be small, because I'm small. I'm small. It's hard to carry stuff around. So, I mean, I've got, wireless mic with pedals. I'm going to have the little mini Korg here. And then I'm going to have what's called a B Beat, which is going to take the place of my laptop. So it's actually much smaller. and it runs everything out of that. So everything I'm not playing and singing, I'll have on this B beat. And then also the B beat controls lights and it triggers video. So like it literally is going to be the thing running everything. Other than me. So I guess that's like my partner in crime is going to be this little device I got. And yeah, so I got to figure out how to stick that to the stand. And that's literally it's me, like stand, synth, projector, and pedal board with a wireless mic. So it's interesting because as a singer, I'm usually just, singing. So I'm like, how I've been practicing at home with the synth, and I'm like, what do I do with my hands? Like, I mean, I know I gotta play. I'm like, okay, but I'm playing, but I'm like over here. I'm like, but I gotta do more over here, and then it's like, and then I'm over here, and I haven't quite figured out like how I'm gonna go back and forth between playing and singing because I'm not gonna play the whole time as I sing because it's not piano music, it's synth music. So I also don't my style of performance is very big and it's very physical. So for me, just to be stuck behind a synth isn't quite the answer either. So I'm trying to incorporate that a little bit more. It's very stagey. My physical performance is very much like I'm gonna roll around on the stage and I'm gonna flip my hair and I'm gonna jump and stuff. So doing this, it'll be part of it, but also that.
What with you describing that reminds me, and I haven't talked to her in a while, but there's a gal who calls herself a one-woman army, Aya Toya out of Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
I love that.
Her whole thing, when she came here, that was like 2022. 23. She's got the video stuff. She's got her synths over here. She plays guitar, and sometimes she didn't have any of it. She was just vocally doing her thing. Cool. And she's very physical too. She wants to get people involved in her show, and so she had to try to figure out how to find that balance of what she does. And she's been touring a lot now. She's actually been to Seattle twice. Unfortunately, I missed her both times she was here. So she's really getting in, and she's going, I think, overseas in the fall to do like a month of dates and all this other kind of stuff. So it's really starting to cook. But what you're describing and what she does are kind of the same thing of like, I don't want to be just here and I don't want this, but I also need to present this the way I have it. And there's a lot of fun in that freedom, but there's also a lot of like, it can get a little overwhelming at times trying to figure out, because it is just you and these electronics or the technology, behind you. But I just remember when I saw her show, I was floored by the whole presentation of it. You could tell how intentional this was. Every piece of it was intentional of what you're watching in the background, what you're hearing, where she was standing, everything. And then on top of all that, she's just like in your face. I'm just going for it. And that's what I picture for your live solo shows.
I love it. Well, I'll have to look it up. I am familiar with her, but I have not seen her work, so I'll have to check that out and see how she does it. It's totally overwhelming at first. I'm like, how am I even gonna? So seeing other artists pull it off, be inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I find samples of things that really kind of struck me, I'll definitely send them your way. So that's and I can even connect you with her if you want at some point.
That'd be cool.
Great person. Great
round table. I see a round table in our future. You should do all like female solo artists.
What a great idea. I didn't even think about it. I'll give you all the credit in the world for that one.
I'll be like, I've brought you here today, ladies. We're taking over the world.
You both
Mark's
of you
helping.
You would definitely have things in common about, oh my gosh, now I just have to think about the third person. Who else do I know who can also fit into this that does solo female work?
I have some ideas.
Yes, I'm sure I can come up with somebody, but yeah, like I said, I haven't done one of those this year, so that would be perfect.
It'd be so fun.
Yeah, let me put this down so I don't forget, because I do forget things a lot more easily these days.
I'm like purposely trying to forget things now. I'm just gonna forget that. Like that's my new MO. I'm just like, nah, don't need to keep that in my brain.
I have things that are like compacted in my brain that I'm kind of like, why am I still remembering that stuff from 30 years ago? That's really it's really true. It's like, I need more space for this new stuff. Get rid of that stuff.
Totally.
Yeah, I turned 55 2 months ago, so
Oh wow!
yeah, so I'm getting up there, and that's why I try to give myself again some grace about, you know what, you're not going to remember things like you did 20 years ago. You're going to be close, but it annoys me. Like, I could be like talking with you, and I can't remember a date about something. I know I did this or a guest that was with you in a fun table. And that wouldn't have happened even 5 years ago. Or 4 years ago.
Is there anything like we can take for that? I've never had a very good memory in general. So like I've always wondered, like, is there something like, isn't it CoQ10 or something you can take to like help you like remember stuff?
Supposedly there's lots of supplements and things that will help improve
Yeah.
your memory. And I'm kind of like, well, I don't know. I don't think it's to a point where I need to focus
Do that
on
yet.
it.
We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it.
Yeah, if I come
It
on
comes with wisdom, so there's that.
and I could use some more of that too.
Come on, life. Teach me.
But I figure that as long as, if I come onto a live stream like this with somebody that I know, and I just have like brain fart after brain fart after brain fart, then it's like, Mark, you better start taking some supplements. You better start doing something.
Okay, well, I'll make sure to let you know when it's supplement time.
Yeah.
No, actually, if you want me to, I will. I can totally.
I always used to kind of joke around with people that I'm not farting dust yet, and and now I can't quite say that.
Yeah. Oh no.
There might be a little poof here or there.
It's just like, I can't help it.
Yeah, like, oh, when did this start happening? Or
The
like,
body changes.
yep. Just even getting out of a chair and making a sound. It's like, when did I start doing that? And
Oh yeah. I
just-
totally fell off a step stool today and my back's like, fuck you. I literally was like, and it wasn't even that high of a step stool.
I'm right there. I just kind of chalk it up to, you know what? These things are going to happen now.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing. You got to look at it like, I love it. Yay, older.
It actually, it kind of indirectly or maybe directly kind of fuels when I talk to other people about that, especially if they're younger than me, which is a lot of people in my circle, that, hey, if you want to go see a band, if you want to go see a musical or an opera or whatever, live event comedy show, or just want to go hang out on a beautiful Sunday in the afternoon here in Seattle, don't talk yourself out of it, or don't say, well, I'll just do it next year, I'll do it next month, or I'll do it. That may not happen or may not even come. So if you think I have an interest in seeing that, I always encourage people, go do it.
Go do it. Yeah.
Go do all the things or see all the things. And I understand, money's an issue. Money's always an issue for me. But if there's 5 things coming, go to one of them at least. Do something. And some things don't cost money. Or like the play I was at yesterday, it was pay what you can. So if you can't afford to, they still want you there. They don't want that to be a barrier for why you can't see live theater.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's more and more people, and I kept thinking that coming out of the pandemic that everyone would be thinking this way of like, yeah, let's go see stuff, and then I'm finding people like, nah, I'll just watch it at home, or I'll just, even if it's like going to a movie theater or something. And like, some things I understand you don't really need the big screen experience, but other things in my mind you do need the big screen experience.
Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you've talked yourself out of it. Well, it costs too much. Well, go on Tuesdays when it's cheap. That's what I do. I mean, there's ways around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
true. And there's so much stuff that's like local, and we forget that, we live near things, and there's community stuff that people are doing right down the street that you probably see the sign for it when you drive to work. Like there's, some local theater companies. I've never checked it out. I was always like, maybe I should just go audition or something, but I haven't even checked it out. So someday. I am very busy too, though. I am a little busy.
Well, that's the thing. You have a lot of stuff on your plate, and then and some people, they have other things on their plate if they've got family or kids. I get it, but then again, when you have that little corner of time for you, maybe it's 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever, or an evening free, get out there and see something or do something. And not only the artists, but the venues need the support. They're still trying to get out of COVID.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So if you think, oh yeah, I'll be at the Paramount Theater and I'll go see something, next year or the year after that, maybe that theater won't be there. I mean,
yeah.
it could really happen. So
Mhm.
I always get on my soapbox about go.
Yeah.
Don't stay at home. You can stay at home, in the winter or whatever, or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But
Yeah, when it's too cold and
yeah, it's
yeah, I like that. That's inspired me to really think about that because I do get like every minute I have that I'm not like working on something, I'm like, I just need to sit down and not do anything.
and
You're right. I do feel like I sit down for most of my free time and watch TV because got to turn my brain off,
well, and see, and that's the thing too. There's absolutely, having said all that I said, there's still a balance to it that
Mhm.
you're working a lot, doing all these things, and you need to decompress. And I do the same thing. I'll veg out and binge watch something all
Yeah.
afternoon, and that makes me feel better. But then the next time I get a break, whatever that is, then I'm like, or if a friend gets a hold of me, hey, you want to go see this band at this show, at this club? Then it's like, yeah, I'll go see. It's fun to hang out with you, and then also see whoever's here. And I've never heard of them. That's okay.
Say yes. Say
Yeah,
yes. I love it. And I definitely agree with that. Definitely.
absolutely. Especially when Hazel has her solo shows coming up. Make sure that
Yeah, say
you say
yes.
yes. Just say
Yeah.
yes.
Maybe not the first one because I don't know how that's going to go, but you could say yes to the second one.
That's what I hate to say this about some of the shows that I've reviewed, but that's one thing that I've definitely noticed, because sometimes I've been fortunate enough that media night will be right at the front of the run, but then I might catch it like towards the end of the run, and the show is so much different and many times so much better than what I saw,
Yeah.
that I feel bad that maybe I wrote kind of a like a B level review of the show, and then it actually turned into an A at the end.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
I have to kind of, like the review I'll be writing later today, I'll be kind of keeping that in mind, that, hey, give them a few more performances, and it's really good right now, but it'll be great, in 2 days or 3 days or whatever.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I've seen in one show I just recently saw, I saw it 4 times. That's how much I liked it.
Yeah.
And it was, every performance was very different, and it was almost like an Easter egg hunt, trying to see what did they change as the performances went on. And I definitely did that. But as we're close to the end of our session here, it's been wonderful talking with you, Hazel, and catching up as always.
Yeah.
And you've kind of talked about what you have coming up with pretty much everything.
Yeah, totally.
and
Now you know it all.
and it's a lot.
It is.
I guess there's one other thing out there for me that I would kind of close on. Do you already have one, or are you considering something like a Patreon or something like that?
Oh, I do have a Patreon.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and I have like 13 patrons or Patreonees. And they're amazing. And yes, if you want to join it, it's great. I do a lot of like Hazel specific stuff there. I know I've been requested to talk about my collabs as well, which I'm happy to do. I've created a sub genre in the Patreon to talk about tours and things like that and shows, because I know that's of interest, but it's really interactive. I'd say like, what do you guys want to hear? What do you want to talk about? Here's a poll. Like, what kind of pictures do you want me to take next? Like, not that there's anything inappropriate, but like, what kind of vibe should we go with? So it's very interactive, and then you can get free. I'll be releasing free downloads and previews of my music videos all before, if you pay for if you're part of the last tier. But yeah, I think it's 3, 5, and 10. It's not a lot. It's like, buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee and I'll write you a poem. How about that?
Is there a name for your fan group? Are they called
Yes, the Hazelnuts. So not like a hazelnut, but like a hazelnut, like an astronaut.
Okay.
Yeah. Hazelnuts.
Very cool.
Yeah.
The hazelnuts.
Yeah. And they're the best. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, there you go, folks. Go check out Hazel's Patreon, and you can become a Hazelnut. And obviously check out 2D Cat and catch Alice on tour this fall.
Yes, please.
And follow Hazel through all her social media and YouTube and Instagram, all the socials, so you can see what she's got coming up as things progress. And again, it's been such a an amazing time knowing you. And so here's another thing too. We've never met in person.
Oh my God. Wait, have we not at an Alice show? Never?
Nope, they never came here when you had joined the band. It was past that point. The last time they were here was in 23, and I missed that show actually. So
Yeah, I remember that now.
So
That's wild. It'll happen.
You mentioned that with the gentleman that is the rapper that collaborated with you that you finally met at the photo shoot. And I was thinking, you know what? We're in the same boat. We've done all these live streams.
It's crazy. It's amazing how much you can do just across the country with each other. You know, it's awesome. I love technology for that reason. It just opens this world up of finding kindred spirits and finding each other and getting to be friends when you wouldn't have otherwise because you're so far away. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I've got these friendships and working relationships and other things that if it wasn't for this, I never would have known probably who that person was even in some cases. So
I love that so much. That's so
yeah.
awesome.
And you do.
Yay.
Well, and obviously so do you as well.
And about that.
Well, again, Haezl, thank you so much for taking the time, and everybody that's watching. And Amaya, I'm sorry, we just finished our
Amia.
Amia, yeah.
Hi, Amia.
Yeah. But I realize it's also Sunday and people are doing things and what have you. So, but check everything out that Hazel's doing. Check out what I'm doing. Thank you for being a part of my 400th live stream.
Yes. Where's the rubber chicken? Oh, why did I not plan ahead for that?
Yeah, I didn't.
Should have had like.
Well, maybe when I do the 500th.
Oh, that totally. Let's do it. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget.
Take care, everybody. See you soon.
Everyone.
Bye. Thank you.